Hello everybody, this is Doll Dazzler and welcome to my channel. In today's video I'm going to be working with my Day of the Dead fairy baton puppet, and I'm going to be making her into a marionette to work with the box, my new puppet box that I am in the process of decorating. I had made a video, I think probably a couple weeks ago, about that box and some of the things that I'm going to be doing with that box. And so most of the puppets that I have previously made are on batons. So what I'm going to be doing, I'm just going to show you guys today what I'm going to be doing to convert my puppets over. So on this side of the puppet you can see that her joint, even though it's a ball joint, it's kind of like frozen, so it doesn't move really well. And on a marionette, all the joints are free moving. So I've done this side already, and you can see I've made these joints now so that they are very, very movable, so that you could have a string come from behind and also in the front on her hand, so that you have all of that free movement. And then again on the leg I did the same thing, so it's no longer that frozen joint, it is a more of a rounded joint or an open joint so that it can move around, and you can see how much better movement it's going to have. Now of course these joints will be covered. This is just for the purpose of this video, I left them uncovered so you can kind of get an idea of what these will look like. And then I also have this arm. I've already taken off the bottom portion of it because that's the joint I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you one joint in this video because it takes a little bit of time. There's a couple of different ways that you can do these joints as well, but this is probably the easiest way since these puppets are already decorated. So I've already released off that bottom portion of the arm, and I'm going to set this puppet off to the side. And so this is the bottom portion of that arm. So this would be the wrist area, and this is the hand. Now I've already severed both of those away from each other. This is the joint that I'm going to work on. This will be the elbow joint, and then this is the hand joint. So I'm going to work on this joint here. So the things that I'm going to need for that, I've got 2 needle nose pliers. Of course the pair of scissors I don't need anymore because I've already severed that joint apart. I've got some of these little screw eyes, and they're 1/2 inch. They're probably the smallest that you can get from Home Depot. And also a 1/4 inch dowel pins. And I've already done a little bit of pre-work on this, so just so that it wouldn't be taking so long for the video. I have here, I pre-drilled the hole, and this is a 1/16 pre-drilling. It's a little drill, and I pre-drilled in to this hole here. I already drilled it in there, and so just make sure that that's nice and clear, and it is. So it's ready for that little screw bolt, or screw eye. It's called a screw eye. So I already have one finished, and I already have it opened. Now you'll have to be careful with these screws because they're so little. They have a tendency to break, and as you can see here, I've already broken one off and had to redo it. So that one is already pre-done. So I'm just going to take this screw and put it into that little hole. I think this is the, nope, that's the wrong end, to this one here. And because it's pre-done, it's going to go in fairly easy. Now it takes a little bit of time to get these to go in, so you have to be a little bit patient with it, but it has such a great outcome that it's worth doing it. So I'm just going to hold this, see if I can get this to move, camera to move up just a little bit for you guys so you can see what I'm doing. It's a little bit hard to do this from behind the camera here. And we're just going to tighten that in. Probably pliers, regular pliers, would probably work just a little bit better for this rounded end. But I do jewelry as well, and so it actually didn't work too bad, so I just went ahead and grabbed these, and I'm just going to tighten it in like that. So now that screw bolt, or that screw eye, is in there. And then since I've already pre-opened this, that's the part where you have to kind of be careful too, is to open it. You can now have that joint, so you can kind of see that. I'm going to close this up now. Again, you have to be very, very, very careful with opening and closing these and running the risk. But you got to close it or it's going to come apart. So there you have it. All right, so now it's closed. So now there's your joint. So now all you have to do is just put it together in the hand, and then your joint is made. So I'm going to move all this off to the side because I'm going to get my glue gun up here. And I am just using a glue gun for this. There's no other thing that's really necessary because of the type of plastic that it is. So I usually put my glue gun on a paper plate so it doesn't get everywhere. And then just to make sure that this fits in the hole. And it does. It's going to leave one side that's still open, but when I glue it in there, it's not going to come out. So you can kind of see how that's going to fit in there tightly. All right. Whoops. And so I'm going to start filling it with some of this glue. And then I'm also going to put a little bit of glue on the actual dowel itself. Just on the very, very end. That'll hold it in place once it gets in there. But it's not going to move anywhere. It's definitely going to be in there. And then you just stick it in that hole. And this gets a little bit messy, and you have to be careful not to burn yourself. And push that clear in. And like I said, this joint is definitely going to be, it's going to be messy until I clean it up, and then it can be covered. It can be covered by clothes. What I'm probably going to cover it with is something that will look just like the bone, maybe do some clay or something, just to kind of hide how that joint looks, because it's going to look a little bit rough. Okay, and so that fills that side there. And you just have to wait just a minute here. Got to fill on this side as well. And then as you can see, then to stick your hand in there, you might need to open that up just a little bit. And we're going to need to wait that till that dries probably. The hands on these don't really matter how you put them on. It does have a thumb, but and I can try to get it on there the best I can, but because it kind of looks the same on both sides, I don't necessarily have to worry. I think I did okay with the other one, but I don't think it's going to matter one way or the other until I decorate it. So I am going to be decorating this too, just so that it looks a little bit more realistic. These puppets were made just for fun, really. And then I did have a couple of other puppets that I had made for some costumes, and so I will be redoing those as well. But I thought that this would be an easy puppet to show you guys on, because the joints are rather large. And so this one's off center a little bit, but it's okay. It doesn't matter. I'm going to get it in there in the center. There we go. And then I just glue it in. Hot glue dries pretty quickly, so, and it also will have a tendency to melt that plastic. These are skeletons I had purchased from the dollar store, so they're not high quality or anything like that. So if they get messed up, all I need to do is just go get another one. But really, they're pretty interesting to, you can make a lot of really cool things out of them. And they also have some at Walmart as well. So you can see that that joint is definitely more free moving. I'm going to let it dry now. And I can go ahead and put it back on the puppet. But I kind of want to let it dry because that glue is still a little bit hot. Excuse me. And then I can pick off that extra glue that's on the metal. So on this one, then you can see this is that joint. So it should be a lot more free moving. And then in the puppet box, I'm going to be trying to make that puppet box so that it will be on remote control. And that's something I'm messing with and trying to get so that I can perfect it. So now you can see that I've done that joint for the video. And then once I have finished her, and I'm going to redo a couple things on her because during the move there was a couple things that happened to her. So I'm going to be doing a couple things maybe to make it a little bit better and then to cover those joints. So I'll be doing a follow-up video, probably with the puppet box once that puppet box is finished. Alright you guys, so if you guys like this tutorial on how to loosen up a joint and make a marionette jointed puppet, please like and subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video.